salami. Oh, that's amazing, Richard. Congratulations on getting admission at Anna Maria. Very, very much congratulations. With the bank statement, okay, just after the post, just send me an email to notkdown@gmail.com, and then let's see what we can do for you in the loan as well. These are the inspiring messages and words that we want to hear from this channel. I'm super happy for you, Richard. At nytkbrand@gmail.com. I'll put it here on the chat box for you. Is that if your admission term is not in fall, I would advise that like you send an email to John Hamel, your study counselor, and change it to fall because spring is already started, so it will be difficult for you to get um, interview consular slot. So it's already in fall, then that's okay. But if it's not, then I will encourage you to just postpone the admission to fall so that by the time you are done with the bank statement and all these other documents, then you could apply to the consular. All right. So if you have joined this live session, we want to welcome you and we want to say thank you very much for you joining us. And as I was already saying, one of the subscribers already got a school at Anna Maria, thanks to the video that he watched. And that is the essence of this channel, to encourage all of you to take that bold step of applying to schools. And then you also have the chance to study abroad as well. So thank you very much, all of you, for joining. And please, if you have not subscribed, we will encourage you that continue to subscribe to the channel and support us in all the things that we do. We are there for you guys. We are there for you guys. So just take advantage of the information we are giving you guys, and then continue with it. Today we are going to talk about Finland, and I've structured the life in this form. First of all, I'm going to talk a bit about the country. Maybe perhaps a lot of people don't know anything about Finland, so we are going to about. Some people have already sent questions that social media platforms, so we will address questions and then we will also check the questions some people have already put on this chat box here. We will address those questions, and finally, if there's time, we'll go through the application form for the Finland applications. So in a couple of weeks, I've had one-on-one sessions with a lot of guys, and we going through the application form. So I have one page open here. We'll go through it, and then if you need some questions, you can also ask. So that's basically what we are going to do today here. Now, starting with the number one, the Finland. It's not it's not a popular country, if I say so. A very small country with a population of about 5.5 million people in Finland. And it's not popular, but in terms of other things, including quality education in terms of other social indicators, including welfare state, including quality air, low corruption index. These are some of the indicators, some of the things that Finland is really leading the chart when it comes to the global perspective. Attending school here, it's quite very flexible and very nice because it belongs to the Schengen country. So if you get Finland, then all the other 27 EU countries is open to you. You can travel anywhere during holidays and enjoy. So that's something good about Finland. That's a bit about Finland. In terms of the educational perspective, so they have about 13 universities in Finland and 22 universities of applied sciences, what we would call in Ghana like a polytechnic. So it's the number of schools which are here. And at this moment, they have so, and then in terms of the application, how it goes is that basically they have three streams of application. They have the joint application, they have the separate application, and then the rolling application. And the joint application, which started on 2 days ago, and it's ending on the 18th of January, it's the biggest of all the application sessions, especially for international students. Even though the window is very short, but I believe that most of you will take the time and the information you give you guys, and then you go ahead and apply to the Finnish universities. So the application, I think, some of the questions someone already asked, so I can to discuss about that. So with the joint application, what it means that almost all the universities and the University of Applied Sciences have a simple, like a one form that you can fill the form. And once you fill the form, you have the chance to select up to 6 universities, or not universities, up to 6 programs. So what it means is that you can pick. Oh, okay, Felix. Thank you for prompting. Does anyone also have issue with my audio? Is it okay with you guys? Can you hear me? All right, it looks like okay. Mary and Richard can hear me. Oh, Nadia, thank you. So, like I was explaining about the joint application, so almost all the universities and almost all the University of Applied Sciences, they have this centralized form, this one form, and in that form you can apply up to maximum of 6 programs. So you can pick program A from school A, or program 3 from school, let's say Z. So that's how it goes in the application process. And with the separate application, so some of the schools and some of their programs, then they also have their separate applications. In that is very specific to a specific university. So what it means is that you cannot have this cross inter-university applications. So you only apply to that specific university, and then with the specific university, you can choose maybe up to 3 courses. So if one university, you can choose, let's say, in engineering, let's say in computer science, and let's say in education, for example. So that's about the separate university. And with the ruling admission, it's also university specific thing. that goes on there. And with the rolling admission, what happens is that some of the universities, not all of them, some of the universities, they have a chance that throughout the whole year, throughout the whole academic year, you could apply to their courses, some of their courses. And what happens is that if, for example, the whole academic year, they're expecting to enroll, let's say, 30 students, then they kind of share it among these three types of applications. For example, they can give for the joint application, which is the major path, they can give only 20 there, and then rolling will take 5, and then separate application might also take 5. So that means that each of the applications you make is independent of the other. So that is how the whole thing goes. Now, the second question that I got was related to the application fee waiver. Now, Finland doesn't charge anything regarding application fee. So the application is straightforward and you don't have to pay anything for the application fee. That is very good news. I think 4 or 5 years ago that they tried to charge about 100 euros, but just after one session, it was cut off. So you don't pay anything. So if anybody tells you that pay 50 euros or 100 euros or any amount for him or her to apply for you, it's a scam. You don't have to pay anything. Actually, even on the application form, you don't even have to log in. You don't have to create an account there. You just go straight to the form, fill it, and then you provide your email address. And then once you are done with the application and submit it, then a login link and the PIN will be sent to your email address for you to check the status and make corrections to the application form. So it's completely free when it comes to the application fee. Does the application require legalization of documents? Okay, so regarding legalization of documents, it is also not something which is being undertaken in the Finnish application. However, I need to point out here that if your certificate or your transcript is issued in language which is neither English, Finnish, or Swedish, then your certificate needs to be translated. So, for example, if your certificate is coming from the language in your certificate, or your language, your name, and all the inscriptions in the certificate is written in, let's say, Yoruba, for example. Then if you send the Yoruba to the Finnish people, they might not be able to know what it's saying. So in that case, you need to translate it from Yoruba to English, Finnish, or Swedish. So that is all about this certification. And the transcription should be done by someone who is qualified to do that before they can accept it. I got another question also regarding someone asking that, can I apply for both Bachelor, BSc, and MSc? Do I need to create another account? All right. So like I already mentioned about the joint application. So with that form, you have the maximum of 6 courses that you could apply with the joint application. So what it means is that you could apply for 3 bachelor courses and maybe 3 master courses. If only you check the eligibility criteria and it fits you really qualify for it, then you can apply to these 6 courses. So you don't have to create another account. And okay, let me also sound this warning that because when you are entering the form, you enter your biodata, your name, your date of birth, and these things. So once it's already captured there, you can't go and repeat the same thing for another school. What it means is that the system will only pick the one which is the newest one. So don't try to do it. But however, what you can do is that just use that same form and then select as many courses that you want to select. And during the application period, you have the chance to make modifications to your application form. So if you made a mistake in your previous application, just go back to the check the link and the pin and the login link they sent to you. Just go to the application form, and if you have to take off some of the courses, just take it off. You don't have to necessarily create a new account for it. What are the other questions? So Michael also asked that the application fees and transcript evaluation. All right, so I've already answered the first one, which I said that application fee, it's entirely zero. You don't have to pay anything for applying to schools in Finland. Transcript evaluation, it's also not something that is done in Finland as well. So unlike the US, that some of the schools want you to have your credentials evaluated from like the WES or the NACES and this kind of institution. But in Finland, you don't have to evaluate. The new thing that when I was doing the research, I even realized that in previous years, your certificate ought to have come from, let's say, your university direct to you. But what I saw when I was doing the research this week was that actually you could even upload your documents direct to the application form. However, when you get the admission and you come to Finland, then you provide the original document. That's the research I did concerning that. And I think that is something very cool. You don't have to go chase some of your universities, especially those that have gone um, on recess or those that have gone on strike for a very long time. So if you have the certificate and the transfer ready, just upload them. But remember, for each individual course and university, you have their specific criteria about how you upload or what are some of the things that you could. When I was going through the one-on-one sessions with one of the subscribers this week, I realized that one school, I think University of Olu, apart from you uploading, they had other questions that they were asking. For example, they were asking you to provide the website of the school, the registrar, even your index number. They're even asking your index number, and I think that's what perhaps they are using to verify that the transcript or the certificate you uploaded into the system is not fake. So each individual, just pay attention to the specific questions related to each individual um, uh, program. Max. So the next one is okay, Maxwell. Maxwell, I see is also asking, please, how can you offer for scholarships? So regarding the scholarship, there most at least most of the schools have some form of scholarship, one form of scholarship or the other. But across board, there is the Finland scholarship, and this scholarship covers your entire tuition that you're supposed to pay. First of all, if you are someone who is an EU member, then you don't have to pay anything as far as tuition is concerned. But if you are outside of the EU, then you are liable to pay tuition fees. And for those people who are outside the EU, the major scholarship that's available is the Finland scholarship. This scholarship pays all your school fees, plus in addition giving you 5,000 grant, relocation grants that you have once you migrate to Finland and open a bank account in Finland. Then that money will be paid into your account. But remember, that is for it's one person for each course. So if a whole university has, let's say, 20 programs that they are doing, then it's only 20 programs, 20 Finland scholarship that will be issued out to the applicants. The best, so it's just like the best of the applicants for each program is going to have that. In addition, some of the schools have other forms of scholarship, such as giving you 50% 50% discount or 50% waiver. And that's very common, especially to the University of Applied Sciences. So what it means is that if you're supposed to pay 8,000, then they give you 50% a discount. Then you pay only 4,000. So when it comes to the scholarship, these are some of the dynamics involved with the Finland scholarships in Finland. And take note that when you are applying, when you are filling the form, there's always a question asking about you, whether you are liable to pay the tuition fee or whether you intend to apply for the scholarship. And remember that you have to take those places in order for you to be considered for the scholarship. So there's a section that says that I am liable to pay tuition fee and I want to apply for the scholarship. And there's also a section that says that I'm liable to pay the tuition fee, but I don't want to apply for the scholarship. So the one that you're going to take, that's where they're going to consider you for the scholarships. So that is it about the scholarship session. Let's go through and see the other questions which are here. So Richard Ohene is also asking, please, do you require to learn the Finnish language before you can get admission? Um, so throughout the whole of the universities, you don't have to learn a special, okay, for English language courses. So some of the courses are offered in Finnish, some of them are also offered in English. So if the course is offered in English, then you don't have to learn the Finnish language. But some courses, for example, courses such as bachelor's in healthcare, because you have this training associated with the program, and because you'll be working using the Finnish language, then they require you to have some level of Finnish. Some schools will prefer you have basic A level, some B level, and some will say that, okay, you don't have to have the Finnish, but when you get enrolled, then we will teach you as part of our curriculum the Finnish language. So it's still also case specific and institution specific. But if only your course is in English, then you don't have to worry about the Finnish language. Felix is also asking more light on the language. Please throw more light on the language. Okay, on the language, the language requirement. So I've already talked about that of the Finnish, but I don't know if your question is related to English, then I can talk about the English. So with the English, unfortunately, you need to provide one form of one. Sorry, I'm trying to show the question and it's not coming. So, all right, let me continue. So with the English, unfortunately, during the research that I did throughout last week and this week, almost all the schools require you to show yourself proficient in the English language. And generally, they require you to have the TOEFL, the IELTS, or other courses or other studies that you have done in EU and in the European Union perspective. So if you are coming from outside the European Union, then you have to provide the ones they have really listed. And some even go to specifics of asking specific questions related to the language. So it's a bit weird there, but I know that, yes, okay. So what the research I did, I didn't even find a school that even mentioned Duolingo as part of the language requirement, except I think Vamia that mentioned it. So that means that they're even picky when it comes to the type of test that you have to show to them in order for them to believe that you really speak good English. So it's one of the downside, but I know that if you have really gone through and applied and written these exams, then it's an easy picky thing for you. So then there's no way it's going to be waived. There's no ways that's going to be waived. So we have to still look into it. But like I mentioned, Vamia, we already done a video on Vamia, and we saw that they, even as part of the requirement, they mentioned Duolingo. So Duolingo is quite cheap and flexible. So you could enroll in Duolingo and have it and apply to the Vamia. And then there's the course in Obo Academy, teaching and learning. And that course, they are also requiring you to have that language. But however, there is a session that says that if you want your English proficiency to be waived through interview, so if only you click on that session, I just have to remember, I have to do a small shot on that and post it to the group. So that means that if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then you are missing a lot. So please do subscribe to the Study Abroad channel. So with the Obo Academy, if you select that option that I'm required to pay, I want my English proficiency to be waived through the interview session, then that is it. They do the interview with you, and then you are good to go. So the next question we are going to ask is Michael Apia. And Michael's question is that is a low CGPA disadvantage in gaining admission? That's a very nice question. First of all, the GPA, your academic skills, they are one part of the admission process. So some of the schools, they will even go deep to tell you that your the relevance and the relevance of your previous studies. Then they give a point, let's say 30 points for that. Then they go to your work experience. Your work experience, maybe they give 10 points. Then they ask about, let's say, um, your letter of motivation. Let's say they give 20 points. So if you are someone whose CGPA is low, but for example, you have really good work experience, then I think you might score more marks at the work experience criteria. And if you score more marks there and the other sessions, but maybe you score low marks at the CGPA, perhaps you might even overtake someone who had higher GPA but lower work experience. So it depends. I'll encourage you, no matter how low it is, just give it a try. You don't pay anything for the application. So just give it a try and make sure that if your GPA is low, you need to counteract it with work experience, research experience, and these kind of out of school experiences that you have. Personally, if I'm on the admission board, that is how I'm going to think that okay, this guy couldn't get a good CGPA, but he spent more time in doing, let's say, the technical things or the field things. So I might be considering him more than someone who only did. So Felix is asking the name of the investor. We have a video on our channel. Go check it out. It's I don't remember the title, but it's related to the teacher certification. So that's cool. Apart from waiving this language, it's Obo Academy. Obo Academy. It's Obo Academy. Something like that. But the first A is a different letter, but maybe with this you can find it. So it is Obo Academy, and that's who wins the language for you. And then apart from that, that school, when you are done, there are only two programs in that school. It's the teaching and learning, and there's one in social inclusion. So these are the only the two courses. So if you have that background, then it's suitable for you. Well, even if you don't have that background, you can give it a try and see how it goes. So that's Obo Academy. Just go check it out. So Richard is also nothing. Um, let's go to Richard, and Richard is asking a CGPA of 3.04 on a 4.00 grade. I think that is super. To be honest with you, my GPA I used to study abroad. I mean, that's a long time ago, but that was 3.03. So mine was even lower than yours. So 3.04, you really have a high chance of applying. Just give it a shot, man. Give it a shot. Salami is also asking. Salami is also asking about whether you could relocate with your family to Finland. Yes, Salami, you can relocate to Finland with your family. It's very simple. It's very simple. Once you, the dependent, once you get the admission, you get a scholarship, whatever you get, then your spouse is also going to get. Okay, then you apply to the embassy, and once you apply to the embassy, you also attach your spouse. So what happens is that you need to put about $7,000, 7,000 euros, sorry, 7,000 euros into your bank account. So if you are bringing your spouse, it means that's times two. It means you need to put. It's not exactly times two. It's less than that. But let's say you need to put 14,000 euros into your account. And if you can prove that, put that 14,000 euros into your account, then your spouse can also get the chance to come to Finland. And per the research we did, it's one of the family-friendly countries you could attend. They really take care of the spouses a lot. So you can come with your family as well. Someone is asking, Michael again is asking that your explanation, the input given to us by our teachers should not be considered. Unfortunately, that is true. The proficiency that was given by your university might not be accepted. Some years back, based on our research, we did some of the universities, because they had students who had come from, let's say, Ghana. There were specific schools such as UCC, UUW, Tech. Those students had already come, and because they didn't have the language requirement, so the school knew that, okay, so this school really have produced talent of people who speak English, regardless of whether they have the IELTS or not. But at this time, I haven't seen it happening again. So that is it for you, Michael. If so, what about scholarships to nursing? Right, it's one of the cakes, one of the very competitive courses to do in Finland. So it belongs to the bachelor studies, and I already mentioned that most of the bachelor studies, it's either they're giving you 50% reduction in the tuition fee, or you pay either they give you 50% reduction right from the beginning, or you pay for the full tuition for the first year, and then as you are progressing to the second second year and the third year, if you do some required number of credits for the year, then you qualify for the other 50% of the subsequent year. So that is the bit of the research we have done. So there are scholarships to do nursing, but check from the specific university. So if you go to the study info application form, generally, if you check from, if you refine the filter to, let's say, nursing, you can see a lot of schools in nursing, and just the description of the course, you could see that, okay, the course is being done in English, and they have the tuition fee is this amount, and they have the scholarship. So you could just have a casual look at it and see from the application form. So there are, but you need to go and check it out. What other questions are there? And since if I mentioned about the nursing thing, so with the University of Applied Sciences, the currently this application time, they are going for okay, usually you have the entrance exams, but previously the entrance exams was done in specific countries. I remember those days people had to move from Ghana to Kenya before they could do the entrance exam. But this time, I think last year and this year, it's going online. So there's also the entrance exams associated with the University of Applied Sciences bachelor courses. And so take note of that entrance exams as well. It's online, and usually next month in February already you get notification for the entrance exams. All right. Which other questions do we have here? Let's see. Okay, as we are waiting for more questions, perhaps I might go into the application form and then show us how to apply. So let me try to go there and then just apply, check the application form, and if there's more time, we can come back to the questions that have already been asked, and then we can continue. So let me present my screen. Just a moment, I'm sharing the screen so all of us could go through the application form together. Let's scroll it up. Over this week, it's been one of my headaches this week. A lot of people booking one-on-one sessions with me so we could go. All right, can you all see my screen? I'm sharing my screen so I can't see whatever is happening on the other side. So this is the joint application form, and the instructions are already here how to fill the form, but you could just go straight. You don't have to read everything that's here. But before you come here, you need to do your due diligence regarding the courses, the school, the courses, to see their eligibility requirements and see whether you qualify to apply to those schools or not. And like I mentioned, you can apply to 6 study programs in this joint application. But remember that the order of preference is not if you choose course A as number one, that doesn't mean that's your first choice. What is happening with this is that you are going to provide the same information in the form. And then at the end of the application period, each form is going to be sent to each specific school or each specific course. And all the courses, programs or schools, they are going to make their decision. So if, let's say, two of them gets you admitted, all of them will send you the admission letter. But when you get the admission letter, you need to confirm the admission letter. And in the confirmation of the admission letter, you have to select only one. So once you confirm that you have accepted the study place for study B, then all the others automatically become inactive. So even though you're applying for 6, but you have to select only one when you get admission. And the same applies to the form. You have to send only one form. You don't have to send multiple forms. If you send multiple forms, the newest, the freshest one is what is going to be. So here you could add study programs to it. So I can just go to the add study program. It's already added Bachelor of Healthcare Nursing, Diaconia. Maybe I was thinking for IFWA. So I choose the healthcare nursing for you. You could go here and add another program for yourself. And like I mentioned, it could be bachelor's, it could be master's, it could be any other course that you want to add. So my screen is all right. So for example, I can add the architecture master program in architecture in University of Oulu here. So I could just go add it up. And once you're filling the form, you see that each of the university may have some specific, there are general questions, and each of the university may have their specific questions that you could also, just for the sake of time, I don't have to add any other thing. Let me just go up. So you can see I've added a bachelor course and a master's course. Let me just scroll up the screen and go to the form and fill it. All right. So first you come to your personal data, your bio data. You give your first name and then you give your last name. And then you select your nationality, Nigeria. And here by default, you could see it's Finland. That's why we have the Finnish personal identity code. If you change it to Nigeria, for example, I didn't see Nigeria. Sorry, let me choose Ethiopia. If I select Ethiopia, for example, then you see the question has changed. Do you have a Finnish personal identity code? No, I don't have it. Then you go there and select no. Right. Then it asks of the other details, your country of birth, your passport number. If you don't have a passport, I'm not sure any of my subscribers don't have a passport. National ID. Those people with Ghana card, you can write them down. Email addresses, then you write your email address and you confirm the email address, your phone number, your address, this basic bio data. After that, you go to permissions and agree. If you don't agree, you agree to those steps and conditions over there. And then your educational background is very important aspect of it. Yes. So for people um, who are coming outside Finland, so there are about 8 ways you could show your background, but looking through, there's only about 2 or 3 which is applicable to those of us who are coming from outside of Finland. And I just want to show you. So the first one is the matriculation examination completed in Finland. If you are going through the form, I would want you to pay very much particular attention because you might have the same the same wording, but you could see in Finland and outside Finland. So just in or out of Finland might change the thing. And if you choose one in Finland, that means you have other questions to answer back in the other sessions, which you might not be able to answer them. So bachelor, master's, doctoral degree completed in Finland, that is not applicable to me coming from outside. Upper secondary education completed outside Finland. So this I can select this. For example, if I've attended a nursing training, a college of education in Ghana, HND, or even high school, I could select this. And then if I select this, let's see what happens. So they're going to tell me to provide the name of the school, the qualification, and everything that I need. Sorry, I have so many tabs open, so my system is slow here. The other questions come for you to continue filling. Now, the second option that is also available to some of us coming from outside of the EU is the bachelor's or master's or doctoral degree completed outside Finland. That is something also applicable to us. Remember, up there we had bachelor's or master's or doctoral degree completed in Finland. So this would be the general thing that will be open for you to fill. But if some of the courses or some of the schools you have chosen require additional things, then you might see it when you go to the later part of the application form. Like I said, one of the universities was asking of the school website and yes, and if you are someone who has more than one certificate to show, then you go to the add section here, and you have to you will be able to add your other degrees that you have. So from here you can have your bachelor's and you can also add your master's. But remember that uh, concern the natural progression. If you want to apply for a bachelor's degree, then they are looking for your high school. So that will be the first criteria. That will be the first eligibility they are looking for. So if you have, let's say, another bachelor's or HND or another added or master's, that one can be used as addition. But remember, they're going to first based on your high school before the other qualifications come. The same way, if you're applying for a master's student, a master's program, then they're going to consider your bachelor's first. Then if you have three other masters, you can add them up. And you might get some points for that aspect. The other ones for people, most of us coming from Ghana, Nigeria, and other parts, perhaps it's not applicable to us. So you just leave those portions. And there's other eligibility for higher education. You can select that. The next is whether you have attended upper secondary education or vocational qualification or not. Then you go. Yes, another important aspect is the exemption from tuition fees. So what they're going to say is that they're going to ask you whether you are someone who has an EU blue card, whether you are a citizen of EU or Switzerland or the European Economic Area, or you have continuous permit Finland, continuous resident Finland, ETA, and all these kind of. If you have them, just select which of them is. But you don't have them, just don't have any of them. Just select this. And restrictions on student selection. So you see, this question is pertaining to only one of the courses I selected up there. You can see that program. You see that Bachelor of Healthcare Nursing. Yeah, this question. So you go and select answer that question. Oh, yes, blah, blah, blah. Has your student right been withdrawn because of your passport and your ID card? So they want you to put your passport here because if you are going to write the University of Applied Sciences entrance exams, you need to show your ID card, and your passport is your ID that you're going to show there. And the system, the application interface is so simple that how you're going to upload, they tell you the 5 size and the deadline that you have to apply. So this means that even though the application deadline is on 18th, but you have up to 25th, another 1 week for you to upload or your attachments. Yes, I saw this somewhere and I need to address this. So okay. Yeah, so there's some small things that it might not be all that necessary, but it really has a lot when it comes to these applications, especially naming of our documents. Just put yourself in the position of someone like a busy person, and every day someone is sending them a document. It will be difficult for me to go back and retrieve your document if you have named it as document. So the recommended naming file format is that you put your name, Akwesi dot or Akwesi underscore or Bay. Then what document is it? Is it your passport? Is it your transcript? Is it something? Then you just write it this way. So it's easier for the person to fetch it if it's lost somewhere than you naming it as transcript or naming it as document one, document two. I receive quite a lot of these things. So let's take note of how we label our documents as well. It can save us some time and some. Let's go to another important session, which is the language. Okay, so because I selected University of Applied Science, that's what the International University of Applied Science exams is coming here. You can read more about it in the application form, but let's consider the language, uh, English language requirements. It's a session that is confusing a lot of people. All these information are related to the diaconia. So graduation date. All right. Okay. So these are additional questions that they are asking. And for University of Oulu, like I already mentioned here, so you select this. I have graduated with a higher education qualification outside Finland. If you click on it, then not this, the second one. All right. If you okay, so if you click on this, that's where they're going to ask you a lot of questions. The name of the awarding institution, good. The higher education institution details, the country of location, their website, language of tuition, their email address, even your student number. So if you don't remember your index number, then they're also asking about your index number. So that is specific to the University of Oulu, degree certificate and transcripts. So how you're going to upload it, they will show you. Right. So if you provided 2 certificates up there, then you can also go here and add another certificate to it. Let's look into the English language and then we come back and see questions that we have there and then see them. So for the language requirements here, so that's also for the University of Oulu one here. Good. So there's a bachelor, master's, or doctoral degree in English in a University of Applied Science in EU and European Economic Area, Australia, Canada, Great Britain, blah blah blah. And they say that excluding online degrees. So if you did online degree at those countries, you don't qualify. You don't use it as a means of showing yourself how proficient you are in the English language. And if you have done 20 ECT credits in English at a Finnish university, then you can select that. The test. The Pearson test of English is academic indicator 6.5. The C2, the C2 pass level. The Finnish National Certificate Proficiency Skill Level 5 and the following sub-test: reading, higher education degree completed in a Finnish higher education institution. So you see that apart from these, they are not accepting any other form. So that's why, like I mentioned, they don't even have Duolingo here. So that means they're very picky when it comes to which of the test they are accepting as part. Yes, so this is the most interesting aspect about the payment of fees and whether you apply for the scholarship. So it says I'm exempt from paying tuition fees and I cannot apply for a scholarship. I have to pay a tuition fee and I'm applying for a scholarship. I have to pay a tuition fee, but I do not wish to apply for a scholarship. So if you don't take care and select the second one, I'm applying for scholarship, you might not be considered for scholarship. If you go and select this one, it means that, okay, they can give you admission and they know that you're a rich person, so you want to pay your own school fees. And then there's a question related to the Finland scholarship. And in the Finland scholarship, there are questions that they are asking here. Please go up. All right, so there are also specific questions related to the Finland scholarship, whether you want to apply or you don't want to apply for it. Just apply for it, even if you have a lot of money. And because I chose architecture, there's a question including a portfolio. So just pay attention to the form, and then each specific course or each specific university have their specific instructions. So, for example, if I choose another school, another program, they might not ask me about things related to my portfolio. So just check it out and then see how we can go. Let me go back to the StreamYard and then see the question that have come here so all of us can. Okay, so Joseph is asking the site. It's study info. I can put it here. Studyinfo.fi. Studyinfo.fi. That is the site that you can apply. I'm trying to type it here for you. Studyinfo.fi. Let's go there and you see you have a lot of information there for yourself. Thank you. Inspire, mentor me to grow. Thank you for joining. Achu, Lewis, thank you also for joining. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm going through to see if there are other questions I haven't addressed, and then I'm going to address those questions. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please, we will encourage you to subscribe to the channel. And support us in our videos and recommend it to other people, like them, and together we will grow together. I know the application time is very short, but with the right mentality, with the right tools at your disposal, you could apply and be successful in this application. So don't give up. Let me see the other questions which are here. Joseph, yours come. So today we've talked about Finland, a very small country, very small but powerful country, and the application period, especially the major one, which is the joint application, has started. So just apply to the schools you have there. Very few schools here, 13 universities in all, and 22 universities of applied sciences. But there are a variety of courses, excuse me, there are a variety of courses that you could apply um, from Finland here. So just give it a try and come over and come see the snow and go to Rovaniemi, Lapland, and go and see Northern Light. You see Northern Light, and you also see Father Christmas, the home of Father Christmas, Santa Claus. So thank you very much. And if you need any other question, please send us an email, nytkbrand@gmail.com, nytkbrand@gmail.com. And please, if you haven't subscribed, we encourage you to subscribe to the channel and be part of this. Thank you very much for your time and for joining. We appreciate all of you for your questions that were sent in advance. Anita, thank you. If you have joined, your questions were sent in advance. Anita, thank you. And I think Uche, Uche Chuku to send the question. So thank you, Uche. And thank you everyone who supported us. Thank you so much. Tell your friends to tell a friend, for them to tell a friend, so that all of us will get the information. Michael Apia, thank you for joining. Felix Frimpong, thank you so much. Richard Ohene, after this I'll check your email. Salami, thank you. Silas, thank you very much for joining. And everyone that joined this, thank you very much for passing through. Fourth code POD. Thank you also for joining. Della QT. Thank you very much for joining. Say I appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Please do so. Subscribe to the channel and put on the notification bell, and you'll be the first person to hear the good news that we carry every day and every week. It's the application period, so there's coming a lot of videos. So just stay tuned. 2023, you have to also study abroad. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. And until we meet again, peace out.